They need cooler tanks to stop them from burning out. Because when they take out your home, when they take out you, like they did in Paradise, because Paradise was an EMP test, it was either accidental or it was actually a testing ground. It was a testing ground to see how quickly, how fast they could take EMP and how they could take those buildings out and incinerate. I don't know, the reports anything on 20,000 or 100,000 people have just been cremated. There's nothing left of them.
All right.
We now have this weapon system. The plan is to use the time delay between us cottoning on, organizing ourselves, reaching critical mass, and shutting this down to kill as many people as they possibly can. That's right now, as I see it, that is the name of their game. Okay.
Right. This is the intent to harm the citizen. This is equipment to harm you, right? Attached to a streetlight outside your home. And this is the reason why a number of people are starting to get sick in the near localities of these transmitters, where they're getting skin problems, breathing problems, because this radiation actually increases the temperature. Push this technology. They're trying to force this technology on people. The LED streetlights, which are illegal, which they also are extremely toxic, they're promoting this technology, including the smart rollout. It's all integrated. All right, so your smart meter, it's got the capacity to kill. These also have the capacity to kill. No necessity for that. The 3.5 volts in your mobile phone, everybody knows that. And like this one, only 10 volts. All right, so this is explosive. Share it. Get it out there, because what will happen, they'll pull my Facebook accounts down, right? Once I get this information out, this is what's causing the increase in temperature in the near locality to you, because it hits your body and makes you feel hot. It's burning people's skin. We've got people who've got skin complaints, breathing complaints, headaches, sore eyes, all the things that are attributed to this mass pollution from this microwave radiation. And the ICNIRP guidelines, as I said, only apply to 6 minutes. These are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So I think the average person struggles so much understanding what all this is about. And that's what they're banking on. So they are banking on the fact that, for example, there's a very simple con hidden in this marketing ploy, that is 5G. For example, when they brought out 3G and 4G, everybody assumes that 5G is just a better 3 and 4G. So what's all this fuss about? Is it just Luddites who are just, they are scared and they are tree huggers and they just don't really enjoy watching happy kitten videos super fast on their phone? But that's not what it is. So 5G is a fundamentally different system. And as you were just summarizing it, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed, because, the full sheer weight of the topic just hit me. I think what I would like to do is to take all the people who are maybe even more overwhelmed than I am, I want to pick them up where they're at maybe, and then bring them up to speed and tell them everything I know. So by the end of the show, they at least know what I think and what I know, so that they can make up their own mind what they think. And there's several discoveries I had trying to research the subject. And I should say that my main focus is not even 5G or 5G campaigning. My main focus is campaigning to have all the directed energy weapon systems shut down, which includes also satellite weaponry, weaponry hidden in cars, weapons carried by gang stalkers in rucksacks, and all this sort of stuff. And out of all that, 5G is, if you like, the state system. It encapsulates everything. It can do a bit of everything, and it will be everywhere. So your 5G system is like a gang stalker with a directed energy weapon in his rucksack who shoots you in the face as you're walking behind him, on the pavement, for example. But it will not be a gang stalker. They can do away with those if they just have these 5G antennas every 50 or 100 meters. So the 5G system will do everything that the current global weapon system can do. And it can also, I strongly believe, it can also instantly kill. Okay. So in other words, if you want to cut to the chase, my view of the 5G system, and I'll show you why I think that's the case, the 5G system should be best imagined as the government, or this shadowy group that has infested the government, taking over every city on the planet and every village and even the smallest town and even the forest where you think there's nothing, and putting up hidden machine guns that follow you and your family, pointing right at you, and these are set sharp so that they can shoot you dead at the speed of light if somebody so wishes. Okay, so that is the best description of the 5G system that I have. So imagine, should you be worried if you suddenly saw, your government putting up AK-47s on every rooftop, and as you're walking, as you're driving your children to school, and as you're, walking, down the mall with them, you suddenly notice that these weapons start following you. They start turning their heads and they start following you. Would you feel comfortable, or would you think the government has gone utterly mad, right? And that's what you should think. The problem is that it's a cognitive problem. We humans have been through the television films and the movies and maybe war zone experience, because millions of people sadly have them. We have been trained on ballistic weapons, and they are hopelessly outdated. So pretty much throughout the 20th century, we just didn't notice the really big weapons were all electromagnetic weapons. They are much better than nuclear weapons because you can exterminate entire cities and you don't contaminate the environment. So in other words, you can take over the city straight away. You just remove the corpses and you carry on where the other people left off. So this is why electromagnetic weapons are the worst weapons of mass destruction we ever had. But they are also the most secretive, precisely because they're so powerful. They come in big versions, so that you can shoot out a plane out of a missile out of the sky. They come in handheld versions. They can be hidden in buildings. They can be hidden at your neighbors. They can be hidden anywhere around the street. So they are a booming industry that is now going to quintuple. So it's going to increase by 500% over the next 6 years roughly. And it is such a booming industry because it is so powerful and it can be used for so many nefarious means at zero cost. If you fire, an AK-47, what that will do is it will leave bullet holes. It will leave, forensic trails leading straight back to you. And, it's pretty hard to find a silencer for those things. So people will hear who's fired the shots. When you fire a directed energy weapon, it's perfectly silent. It's lethal. It's immediate reload. So you have a machine gun that's even faster than the normal machine guns, mechanical machine guns we have. Okay, so that is directed energy weapons. Now, the 5G system is a directed energy weapon system. So in other words, what the governments are pulling up are weapons of mass destruction in the civilian domain. And, governments always had weapons of mass destruction. They always have their tanks of bio warfare and chemical warfare. They've got their nukes, but typically they're not, kept around the mall, at least not as far as we know. Maybe there's an underground bunker behind, a Walmart or shopping mall, but these weapons, they will be out in the public. They will be pulsing nonstop, and it will be just either a glitch or just somebody's, volition that will set them from the fairly harmless and survivable shot to the deadly shot. Okay, so that's what people have to realize. This is what I'm talking about. Now, I just put it out there, and most people think, oh gosh, she's crazy. I mean, who the hell would do something like that? And I want to pick people up where they're at. So first of all, I want to show what the 5G system really looks like in practice. Then I want to show, how the industry is actually gloating with it. They know that this is a weapon. They're gloating. They're jeering at us, and they're making fun of us. And then I will show you what this weapon is planned to be used for and is already being used for right now. So what I'm talking about is not just, oh, it's 5 years in the future. No, this system is killing people right now. And now the only question is the time lag between us realizing, accumulating a critical mass and shutting the system down, and arresting the criminals, whoever, thought of putting this in the domain, knowing full well Now that time delay pretty much maps out how many people are going to die. Okay. And this crime cartel, so this is why informing yourself is so important. But what I say today shouldn't just stay with the listeners. It has to go on social media. It has to go to your relatives. It has to go to your friends. Don't be embarrassed of alerting people to this, because this is an actively shooting weapon system that is being deployed everywhere around the world. So what you do if you start activating your social networks is, because we are all connected through 3.5 degrees of separation, thanks to Facebook and, social media, what you're doing is you are quickly informing a very large number of people, and you are shortening non-linearly the time it takes to inform the planet. So if everybody informs people, we really use the network mathematics, so the networks we have, and these networks are the reason the crime cartel is losing. That's what they're afraid of. But we need to use our power. If we just, use the internet to send each other jokes and, PowerPoint presentations with jokes in, we're not going to save our lives. So we have to use the networks we have in the internet to get, life-saving information to each other. That's what's so important. And what we do by doing that is we are literally shortening this time. But when things go viral, something that would have taken maybe 20 years before to inform the entire planet can take as short as a week. And there are several CIA tests that actually show that. I think one CIA test, I believe it was a CIA test, is, for example, the ice bucket water challenge. Okay, at first a couple of